That might help. Hello. Good to see you all. I think I had the wrong camera on. This is David for Elizabeth Craft Designs. Good to see you. I think everything should be fine and up and running. Just let me see if I can find the comments. Yeah, thank you, Doris. I figured that out. There was no picture. Hi, Anki. Hi, Becky. Good to see you all. Welcome to another live for Elizabeth Craft Designs. It's Friday Play Day. We're gonna play today. Just let me see if I can find myself here, and then we're all set and done. That was smooth, right? Because I've already found myself. Yes, that's working. Hello. Well, let's get some household things out of the way, and that is, don't forget to like, share, and comment, because you'll be able to win a $50 gift certificate. The winner for this week will be announced next Monday, so that'll be cool if you win that. Fun stuff coming up. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Anja. Hi, Terry. Hi, Nance. Hi, Ans. Hi, Robin. Good to see you all. Lots of people joining. No, Femke, you're good to go now. That's all set. So, fun things going on. I know Anita is going to be at a big fair tomorrow. Is it tomorrow, Anita? So that's going to be fun if you want to see lots of ECD goodies, planners, journals, cards, mice, you know, the little creepy things. She's got them. So that's going to be fun. And there's a big sale, a Memorial Day sale on our website, and the sale offer is quite easy. If you spend $50 or €50, you get the book 7 for free. Wow, that's great. So spend 50, like stuff I use tonight, for instance. You order that from the website, you get the book for free. Great offer, I think. So that's just until the 2nd of September, that one. Hi, Belinda. Hi, Jacqueline. Good to see you. Hi, Chantal. Hello. Good to see you all. Well, welcome. Today I'm going to be playing with some mixed media stuff that I don't play enough with. I've got full set syndrome, so I've got everything. I'll get into it in a second, but I don't use it enough. And it's a fun medium that, yeah, it's sort of, you have to find your way in using it. And I know a lot of people use it in a lot of different ways. I'm not an expert by all means, but I'm just going to play with you and use it in different ways, show you how to create it, to make a background, to color with, etc. So, yeah, you are on time, Diane. I'm impressed. Hi, Linda. Hi, Petri. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Miranda. Thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting. So, yeah. Oh, that's good, Doris, that you took advantage of that offer, because it's a great offer. So, let's switch the cameras around, shall we? And I can explain a bit more about what I'm going to do. Press the right button, David. This one and that one. There we go. You can still see. I can still see you, and you can still see me. And yeah, then we can get started. So what I've got here is a base page. I'm going to start with that. But first things first. This is what I'm going to be using. Crayons. Now I've got the whole shebang. Now these are the holiday ones. They have a slight shimmer in it. You can see that in the cap. I've got them in a separate tin, because if they get mixed up, I really wouldn't know, because you can't really see it. There's a slight shine on them. I might use those. I don't know yet which ones I'm going to use. But I've got them to hand. So I've got 3 tins. I've got warm colors, cool colors, and then the shiny ones. So that's it. And I'm going to be working with the shed. Oh, that's cool, Belinda. You've got them. It's such a fun set. And I haven't played with it enough because all the other things that were going on. I've got so much fun stuff going on behind me, guys. I can't show you anything. I can't tell you about it. But good thing is, I finished all the cutting for Banff. So that's done. Now I just need to cut it all. Well, I've been late myself because of myself. So I know the feeling, Diane. Oh dear. But yeah, no, it's going to be fun in the next couple of months. Hi, Laurie. Good to see you. So, first things first. Since I'm going to be working with crayons, let me show you. I've got a scrap piece of paper here that I will explain what I'm going to do. This is a candied apple. Doesn't matter what color. If I do this, I just scribble it on there. Spread it out using my finger. Your fingers are the best tools there are. You can build it up, it's real pigmented, etc., etc. Then I wet it. And then I can really move it around again. And then if it dries, that's it. You won't get anything else done. Well, I'm not saying anything, Leanne, but yeah, might be good. Oh dear. This now sunks into the paper and it's done. It's there. You can't move it around anymore, which is something you don't want. So what we're going to do, and there's several things you can do, but I'm going to use something I have at hand. But you can use a Distress Collage medium. You can use a matte medium. This is by Liquitex, or you can use a clear gesso. I like to use the matte medium. Either way, it doesn't really matter. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to spread this out over my whole background. Not that I'm going to create a whole background, but I'm just going to spread this out. And I'm doing that with my fingers. And I've used way too much. I can already tell you that. Don't do what I just did. It's because I'm talking at the same time. Hi, Toriel. Welcome. So I'm just going to wipe some off. So why I'm doing this with my fingers and not with a brush, that's quite simple. I don't want the brush strokes. So that's why I want it smooth. So took the majority off. There we go. Now I'm going to take my fingers again and I'm just going to smooth that out. So this will give me a very smooth background. Gesso is a bit more textured. That's why I'm preferring this now. There's a time and place for everything. I think gesso is perfect, but not now. So this is all done. So let me grab a baby wipe, clean off my fingers. And it's a matte medium, you don't see it anymore. Hi Candice. So, clean this off and clean off my hands. Oh, small paint roller, that could work as well else. But I like this because I know when it gets sticky, then I know I'm done. Hi Els, by the way. So, that's that. So, this needs to dry. So I'm going to put this to the side. You can use the heat tool, but in this case, I'm not going to be bothered too much because I've got some building up to do of other stuff. So I'm going to put that to the sides and I'll get back to that later. Then, what I've got here is something I've prepared already a bit. This is cut out of my Grungy wood paper pack. It's an older paper pack, but still lovely, and it has a lovely wood grain. So what I did there, I inked all the edges using speckled egg. Just went around it all. And what I did with these is, with this little dauber, I inked up my dauber. Well, it's off there now. It's no longer sticky. And you just do this and that gives it a hint of blue. And brings out that wood grain that you put in with the dye a bit more. So that's a fun way of doing it. Exactly, the cheapest tools we've got, Els. Hi Heather, good to see you. So, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take my door, which I already assembled. This is all in the die set, all the little stuff that goes on there. So, I'm just going to glue that door on there. And why am I starting with the door? I can explain. Why is this not working? I literally just used it. Now, yeah. Is there something stuck here? It's live TV, guys, you know. And ladies, guys and girls. need to get a new bottle, I think. This one is getting really dirty inside, but it should work now. I haven't done so, Lee. Please do it and share it with us at the Art Journal Specials group. Okay, why are you stuck? This is... I will just... come on. Come on. You can do it. There we go. I'll do it like this. So one thing we need today is glue. That's why I checked it before I started. Okay, then you take this one, you open the door like so, and then lay this one on top. Why do I open the door? Because otherwise it gets stuck. Now when I lay it flat, I know my door can still open. You see? So that's why I do it like that. And then I've got all these little thingies. Can I get this one to work? Because I need a fine tip to get it to all done. Ow. Don't stick the needle in your finger, David. I know, Sandra, some hot water, but that doesn't help me now. But this one is working. So, tweezers. So, what I'm going to do, I've got all these little pieces, and I'm just going to glue them down. So I'll be quick. It's no rocket science. Make sure you don't close the door. And I have the wobbly end at the bottom. Does that make sense? The wobbly end? Is that a good saying? And this one is going to go over there. And the smaller ones, these, will go on the other side. So again, if you look, it's got a straight top and a wobbly bottom. And I'm going to put that one next to the door as well. Making sure the door can still open. Yep, that works. Okay, and now it's just rinse and repeat. And what I will do is I'll just build up that like so. Making sure it's sort of straight. This one, actually, I'm going to put that one here, because then I know where I need to go. Does that make sense? Exactly, the shed with pumpkins and sunflowers. Well, do it. And if you're not a member yet of the Art Journal Specials Facebook group, join us there, because then you can share your makes there, and we'd love to see you. And there's really no rocket science with the shed. It's so simple. Once you do it, you get it, and it's such a fun one to play with. It's still very hot in my craft room. Probably that's why the glue is drying so quickly, but we'll get there. Oh, this one needs... oh no, it's got blue on it. I just love the effect with the blue. There we go. So just continue building that up. And I just thought using this grungy wood for it was the perfect paper pack. Because you get some nice wood texture showing, you see? No crayons yet, no. No, the crayons will come, but I need to have this one assembled. This is really not a good glue day. I think what's going on here is that this one is empty. Let me just refill that. This is getting ridiculous. Everything is stuck and glued together. Never had this issue. It seems this one is empty, so I'm just quickly filling this one up. I've got a good flow here. So that one goes there. This one goes on here. Now maybe, just maybe, I can get this to work. I'm really going crazy, guys. Without glue, I can't do it. These are the only ones I've got. I am so sorry. Okay, let's do that again. It's working. Okay. Sorry. But it works now. I think we've all got those challenges, right? So I'm quickly going to build this up. So what I'm doing, I'm sort of staggering them. Is that the right word? Overlapping. This is the top part. Yes, 2 top parts. I need those. So I've got way too many. And once you get the hang of it and your glue is working, this is actually done pretty quickly. Oh, I'm sure I'm not the only one that has glue issues. This one is... There we go. And there we go. So how's everybody doing? For the people that tuned in late, don't forget to like, share, and comment to be able to win the $50 gift certificate. And also, there's a great offer going on, a Memorial Day sale offer, that if you spend $50 or €50 or more on the Elizabeth Crafts Designs EU website or .com, you get a free book 7, which is fantastic. Who doesn't want an extra book to play with, to cut out, and to make beautiful things with? Aww. It's so funny. Sometimes it oozes out, and now it just all got stuck within. Now I just have to fuff around a bit over here to get that to fit, but it'll work out. So I just have to loosen this up a bit. There we go. And I will just put this one underneath there. And then this side is done. So you see how quickly you build it up. You just need to do quite a lot of die cutting to get all these planks ready. But once you've got them, I just think this looks so gorgeous. Love it. Right, let's do this one. Now. And then it's actually from now on, it's just straight as we go. Simple and quick. And then I can start to show you some of the fun techniques that I've got planned for you, because this is just the base. We're going to start with this. And then I'm going to do some fun things with this. Because I'm going to grunge this up even more. But we'll get to that. We will get to that. This is, in a way, it's relaxing. Once your glue is working, then it's really relaxing. I don't know. You get book number 7, yes, but I don't know anything about number 10. Number 7 is the red, white and blue one. You've got a lot of storms now, don't you, Belinda? Is it more than normal, or? Well, thank you, Leanne. Oh, it's fun to see something get built and turn into something, I think. And it's turning into a proper shed. And I love that hint of blue on there. It gives it that weathered look. Weathered wood look. So yeah, that was a milestone today for me when I finished cutting for Banff. Everything is cut. So that's gonna be fun, and then I just have to kit it up, which is also quite a job, but it's all worth it. So that works out pretty well. It's all worth it because it's going to be a fantastic fun retreat. And there's so much other fun things going on at Elizabeth Craft Designs, guys. You will be blown away. I've seen some things. I know some things. It's going to be amazing. I know I sound like Els because she's always saying that, but it's true. I don't know. I really don't know. There we go. So now I'm just going to finish this up like so. I'm just going to continue like this, and then I will trim off the excess once I get to the back. This one. And then you've got your whole shed almost ready. Isn't that cool? I love it. Hi, Fenna. So, like that. I'm going to flip that over. Take my scissors. And I'm just going to cut this off. Like so. So, pretty darn cute, I think. So I've got these, and they go on top of this, of the shed. I think I have to turn them around, but bear with me. I'm always fuffing around with this. Yep, that's the way it goes. So what I'm going to do with these... Hey, Marijke. I hope you had fun. And this one is going to go there. That is the rooftop, so to say. And then what I'm going to do... I think, or maybe I'm not even going to be doing that. I'm just thinking out loud now. I know what I'm going to do with the page. Yeah, no, I'm not going to. I will explain what I had in mind, but then I've changed my mind. So my intention was to make this a fold out. Look at that. How cute, right? To make a fold out page in my journal. So that this piece, which is also in the die set, fits behind here perfectly. So you glue that down like this, and you've got a hinge for your pages, and you can attach this page on there, and you can have a booklet, mini booklet in your journal. So But in this case, I'm just going to leave it as is, and I'm going to just stick it down like that. Okay. Now we get to, not dry enough, some distress techniques. So what I'm going to do, I've got scorched timber here, which is fine. And I'm going to take, I've got a little box thingy here with all sorts of stuff that I'm going to be coloring. Oh, I've also got the lady, because I think the lady is great combined with the in the garden collection. It's got the same feel, the same atmosphere, so to speak. So there we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be coloring some bits and bobs, and I'm going to color with Distress Crayons. Now this one, I got some questions what this was from the die. It's a die that cuts this plank and two of these little feet, and that is actually a shelf. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So let's start with that. So got my scorched timber here. What I'm going to do is just scribble some on my glass mat that I've got here. And then I'm going to take some water. What do you mean? The garden shed? That was in July, yes. So I'm just going to pick up that color, and I'm going to use that to color my plank that's going to be on the shed. So it's a very easy and forgiving coloring medium. So that's the first thing you can do with it. Like that. So then I'm going to use it to color my wheelbarrow. I'm just going to do it like that. So no rocket science. I'm just going to make that brown. And I did the same with this one. Just used the Distress Crayons like that to color. So that's going to go there. So like that. Then I can come back and even darken some things up. So this is more in the distance. And then I can blend that out a bit to the lighter. Same here, this is darker because it's on the inside. So easy to color, right? I'm going to make this one brown as well. And then I'm going to show you a fun technique to grunge up my garden shed. First things first, this, because there's no point in wasting that. This is a little hanging basket. Oh, it's so much fun, Anita. You will love it. It's also fun with the mice in it. Okay, before I lose everything, let's glue that one down. Well, yeah, let's do that. So, what do? I'm just gonna some white there, some white there. So, it's got a jagged edge here a bit. Hi, Linda. Well, no problem. Yeah, Femke, you got it right. July already. So I'm just going to put that one right there. And then these little tiny things are the feet. There it is. The how do you call? I don't know what to call that. This is the part that hangs. That's underneath a plank. The support thingies. How do you call that? Anyone? Crayons are very highly pigmented. It's just another medium. If you really want an in-depth explanation of all the differences, Tim Holtz has got loads of videos on his channel about all the differences. But I will show you some other things in a second. That one of the things is that Distress ink moves when you wet it. So if you put Distress ink on something and you spray it, it runs immediately. This one doesn't move until you move it. That is the difference between those things. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to lightly go over my shed like that, and then randomly give that a bit more grunge. See that? And then what you can do, you can take your finger and work that in. But in my case, I'm just going to take water and a brush. And I will just lightly work that where I want it. Blend it out a bit. It just makes it sort of stained old wood, which is really fun. I think it's fun. You see that? You could, yeah. What's even more fun, you can use the hinges from the Hinge to the Past collection and use those on here. So I like that you really need to activate that pigment, or you can just leave it as is and leave it to dry. So that's the first technique. So I'm just going to let this dry in a second and let it do its thing and get into the nooks and crannies where it wants to go. And if it doesn't want to go anywhere, well, that's fine. But it just looks a bit more, well, grungy, weathered, so to speak. You see that? I love that effect. So this is a look you cannot achieve, Sandra, with ink the same way, because it's way more runny. So that's one thing. I hope that explains it a bit. There, that's done. So let's do some more coloring, which is fairly quick. I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be quick. So in this case, well, I've got this color here, might as well. I'm going to take some candied apple, scribble it on my mat, wet it. So this to the side to dry for now. And it's an easy way to color as well. I mean, if you just want to color, by all means, then get the watercolor palette and use that. Or the watercolor pencils, because, I mean, but if you want to develop more mixed media techniques, this is a fun way to do it. And as long as I wet it, I can move it around. So that's fun, I think. So what I did here, I stamped it. And this is from the Mr. and Mrs. stamp set. So I'm combining collections here, which is one I think we did in May. But I think it combines nicely. So, okay, that's that one done. Now let me. I just want to. I'm speaking to myself now. So that is the little pot for him, and this is the little plant to go into the pot. So let's do those as well. I might as well use the same color for the leaves. Oh, I love how this is drying. You see that? I just love that. Let's do a bit of orange. So what I'm doing is I'm just sort of dabbing that on there. It's another way to do it. Wet your brush and activate that pigment and move it around. Get some brown on there. Scorched timber. Here we go. So scribble it on there, and then you can activate it and just spread that out. And once it's dry, it's permanent. Well, not permanent. Don't lick it, as Tim would say. But yeah, okay. This needs to be dried. Are we having fun? Oh, thank you for the hearts. It's because you don't play enough with it, Femke. It scared the freak out of me when I started. And the more and more I use it, the more and more I think, what was I so scared of? So just play with it. Have a go. Don't let it intimidate you. If it fails, it fails. What's the worst that can happen, right? Okay, that's on there. And this one goes here. How cool is that? Now I want that plant to go there. So let me just fuff around with that. There we go. Okay, glue that down. And then this one is going to go hang from that, from the top. Okay, well, let's glue you down. It's going to hang there. Okay, if you don't want to do that like that, I'm not going to be fuffing around with you too much. There we go. So he's hanging there. Cute, right? Okay. I need to finish her. What color shall I do with that? Let's do a blue. A bluish green. Have fun tomorrow. So, picking up that color. And I'm just gonna use that. Because in my paper there's some blue as well. This is a bluish green, which I like. Iced spruce, I think this is. Iced spruce, I can't say that. Pine needles, well, wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. Okay, pine needles, that is. There we go. And her head a bit. Tiny bit of brown I'm picking up to color her face. And her hand. There we go. Simple and quick, right? Okay, drying. Take my baby wipe. And now, with my baby wipe, I've got something fun I'm going to do as well. Because I looked at this and I thought, ooh, that's pretty. So what I've got here is one of the stamps from this collection. And I'm going to use Nocturne to stamp on that. And then I'm going to use the matching die to cut that out. And this is really fun. And then what you get, because I've prepared that, is this. I think this is pretty. I'm going to do something fun with that on this page as well. Ooh, nice color matching. See, it stamps on there beautiful. And then you can use that, cut it out, etc. So that's what I'm going to do. Now let's get back to this one. Is it completely dry yet? Dry enough. So what I'm going to do is using, let's use the orange. I'm just going to scribble that on here. Like so. Then I'm going to wet that a bit. You can see that pigment is activated. I'm just going to cover this whole bit up with that. And then I'm going to take my stencil, I'm going to have a look. It needs a bit more down here. So easiest way to do this, scribble, scribble, scribble. Is that big enough? Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm going to dry that. I'm not going to go this year. What about the pine needles? What do I forgot? Hi Leslie, welcome. So drying this. I'm going to take some of this in there. Again, not being too fussed, just spreading that out using my finger. As Elle said, the cheapest tool available. Wetting that a bit, blends it. Fun thing is, I think the texture is still coming through. The texture of the paper. And then I'm just going to soften this look further down. Which, that's why we used, remember we started with the acrylic medium. So I can work this for as long as I want. And if I re-wet it, it's still workable. And that is, I think, the beauty of this. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to place this on here. Like so. Take a baby wipe. Well, again, water reactive. So it's gone. Okay, glue. But yeah, and it's a good thing I have scrubby. That's true. So I'm going to do this. And then I'm just going to take off some color. And that is seriously, you can do this with oxide colors, but this is the easiest way to do it. Because all you do is just dab on it and it's gone. And that is because the bottom layer is a medium, so it could be gesso, it could be Distress collage medium, whatever. So I'm just, and there you have your background, a negative of the background. I think this is a very cool technique. I'm going to dry that again. And it's about texture, right? It has to be in the background, so I'm not too fussed about it. On this side, I'm going to use the same product, but in a different way. And that is using flat brushes. So I'm going to be using the smaller stencil. And I'm just going to scribble this again onto my glass media mat. It is fun, Robin, I agree. Thank you, thank you. You can do it definitely with oxides, yes, but you have to work harder because it also absorbs into the paper. It's a different look. This completely removes it, which is cool. So now I'm just picking up that color, or pigment I should say, because these are pigments. It's pure pigment. So I'm just gonna fuff around with that. And then maybe take a bit of red, reddish, pinkish, whatever it is. Just use that. Look at that. So I think this is fun. We've got that bigger one, which is more of the ghost print, and it's very subtle. This comes down here. I like it like that. So I'm going to stop here. And this is so subtle. And you can build up on this, because if you have crayons through a stencil and you let them dry, they resist ink. So there's fun things you can do with that as well. But we can't do it all in one life, can we? This is already too much, almost. Right, that little house is going to go here. First, let me fold this just to make sure it fits. There we go. Ink the edges. Makes a huge difference, right? So let's do that. Thanks, Els. I just love inking because it really brings out that grungy edge. Like that. Okay, let's put him here. I want it to be a bit more up. I have to ink the fold a bit because I don't see it otherwise. I don't want to get stuck, so to speak. So he's going to go there. He can bump out there a bit. I'm going to have him there. Okay, you're going to go there. Then I'm going to figure out where to put these. I'm just going to trim off the bottom. And put some glue. Mainly there. There we go. And I'm going to place that behind my little shed. Like this. So this is like a big growing plant coming behind, from behind that shed. I love that. So I'm going to do the same with this one. Trim this bottom piece off. There we go. The shed turned out cool, right? Especially with that added grunge of the crayons. By the way, what's in this baby wipe is also crayons, because of course I've played with them before I went live. Yes, like that. Okay. This is fun. Okay, now I can place this one on here. I've got these ones because they're pure water. I love those. See that? How that comes out of there? You've got the texture here. This is like a big bush of flowers behind the garden shed. I love that. Looking forward to seeing that. So what I want to do is sort of make this a bit darker here, so it has the illusion of a pathway going there, and sort of grounding the shed there. And then I'm going to glue it down. I like that. Then I'm going to put the barrel in front of that and the wheelbarrow like this. And the lady is going to be behind that. So this is the general idea. So let's continue on that path. Where did I get them from? I think Albert Heijn. Supermarket. Yes, you're going to go there. I'm going to place you in front of that. Yes, it will. If you go back to the complete beginning, Katie, or Sandra, I don't know who asked that question, you have to use either a gesso or a medium underneath it. Because otherwise you can't remove the crayon. Oh yeah, I know Kruidvat has them, but I like these and they don't have this brand. If they do, then it's occasional, but... so I hope that answers your question. Yes, you have to use a gesso or something to have it slide over. That's fairly what it does. Because now, this color is in here. I can't move that around anymore. It's stuck. And with this, if you want to do this technique, you need to be able to move it around. Yeah, I think this brand is everywhere. I like this brand because it's no smell, no residue. I can't stand the smell of baby wipes. Personal. But I saw this brand when I was in the US as well, so and in Canada. So I think this is coming together nicely. Love that. So I've got this idea. Yeah, I want to give her some flowers in her hand. So I'm just gonna do that the quick way. The effect would be the same. If you stamp on a dry, if you have a baby wipe and you have it completely dry, you cut it out, it's the same. That's no rocket science. Well, I didn't use the medium on her dress, so that won't come off. So I'm just giving her a bouquet of flowers, just for fun, right? Like so. And I just want some phrases, so let me grab this. All things grow with love. I like that saying because it's true. Oh, it happens. Trust me, Sandra, it happens. But it's definitely a good idea, but then you have to prepare and make sure there's that layer of gesso or medium underneath. If you want to move it around, etc. Okay. Ink it up. And then it needs something small down there. This is too white. There we go. I forgot to ink this. That's better. There we go. Problem solved, you see? But there's so much going on, but it's all sort of tone on tone, so therefore it's not too much. If that makes sense. So. Like that. Okay, let's glue these down. Overlap that with him. Yeah, the same way. That's also fun. It's sort of the same material as the baby wipes, I think. Now I gotta be careful. Fold this close again. There we go. So that's it. How I love this. I love this. I just want one more thingy. One more pot. Let's quickly color this. So I just scribbled some on. Take some water, activate the pigment, and move that color up. So it's very quick, very easy, and I think fun. Now I want some color. Let's do that ice spruce. No, it's not ice spruce. What was it? What was it? Pine needles. There we go. That's on there. Wet the brush. That's the thing else. That's what I said that at the start. I've got full set syndrome, so I've got them all, and I don't use them enough. So yeah, that's just grab them and play with them because they give a different look again. I can't explain, but it is. And we've got them, so we might as well use them, right? Okay. Let's try that. I love how my little shed came out. Look at the depth and colors on there. So, grab some glue. Put this one up. It's like playing with a little seedling. Like that. And then I'm going to place him on top of this one. Oh yeah, that's fun. That's fun. I love it. Look how cute that is. They did, Doris. I agree. There's something in the way. Bear with me. There we go. So, I think I'm done. Different layers. The paper is already very layered, and then you've got the layer of the stencil on top, and a different way to use the stencil, but it's really nice the way it took it off. And then we've got the shed, and I can put something here. I will put something in here, but it's time. I have to go because I actually have guests downstairs waiting for me, friends that have come over. So I'm gonna go visit them. Well, they're visiting us, but you know what I mean. So let me close these up because they do dry out. So if you don't close them up, they get quite hard. So these are back. Close up my glue again because now it should be working, and it's already stuck. That's what I said. It's so warm in here. I literally just used it. Funny, right? Fun. Ah, there we go. Okay, let's switch the cameras around so I can say a proper goodbye. Thank you for joining me again today. I hope you loved it. I had a blast. I think this turned out so pretty. Different lighting. I think this does it more justice for some reason because you don't have the white underneath. So there we go. Oh, that way. I think I love it. I'm happy with it. I'll be back soon. I think the 8th of September. Who knows what we're going to do. Have a fantastic weekend. Be happy, be safe, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Thank you for joining me. Bye. Oh, and don't forget about the Memorial Day sale. $50. Spend $50 and get book 7. Amazing. So take advantage of that. Bye.